All right, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm gonna head over to the mat and bring this a little closer. There we go. Okay, so let me know if you can't hear me as we go through. Okay, so my name is Christy, and we are going to do some Pilates mat, and you will need to have today a towel, kitchen towel. Or a hand towel would be fine also. And this is going to work best if you are on a tile or a wood floor. Now, if you have carpet at home, you might just pause the video and see if you can find a paper plate. Paper plate works really well, something like that. Or if you don't have that, then just a piece of paper can also work, even like a thick sort of cardboard piece of paper. That'll work also. Or just move into a room in your house that does have a wood floor. If you can't do that now, don't worry. You can just watch this later. It'll be recorded and placed up on the blog for later, the online Zama for later. So we'll just do about 45 minutes, and we're going to start lying down on our back with a little bit of a neck release. And so for this one, you're going to keep basically put the towel in its full size. And then the other thing you'll need to do is fold your mat. And you're going to fold the mat in half. And we're going to be doing that so that we can have a little bit more padding for our back and for our knees, and also use more of the space around us. So place the towel, again, at its full length at one end of your mat. And then, if you don't have enough room for your back, if you're a little taller, well, just, undo some of that fold a bit so you've got a bit more room for now. And then you'll just lie down on your back and put your head on the towel, and just make sure that the towel is not under your shoulders. We want the towel to be underneath your head. And then once you've got that in place, you're just going to tuck your chin to your throat. And with your chin tucked to your throat, slowly turn your head side to side, just very slowly rotating your head. Just allow your tail to relax into the floor, your spine to relax, and just become aware of your breathing. So we're going to start slowly, and we will get a lot of work in a little bit, but we want to start, if we can, with minimal tension in our body. Just roll your head one more time each way. And then return to center and grab the ends of the towel with your hands, with your palms facing in and your elbows to the ceiling. And you want to really kind of try to grab the entire end of the towel, kind of bunch it all up, and again, make sure that there's nothing underneath your shoulders. So all you'll do now is just very gently press your head back into the towel, and then hover your head and see if there's a way for you to kind of gently just coax the base of your skull using your hands with the towel away from your shoulders. And then just put your head down. So we're just doing kind of a lengthening exercise. Try that again. Draw your chin to your throat, push your head into the towel so your head's heavy, and then use your hands to help just float your head off a millimeter from the floor, and then just gently pull the towel. So there's a little bit of traction. Allow your head to get heavy, and then with that bit of traction, let your neck lengthen, and then return your head down. We'll try that one more time. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, let your head get heavy as you float the towel off using your hands only, your neck is relaxed. Gently traction your head back in space, and then release down. So keep your head now heavy on the floor. We're just going to keep our hands on the towel because we'll use them in a moment. But first, just see if you can find your neutral pelvis and maintain that as you breathe in and take your right knee and chin to tabletop. And then breathe out as you bring your left shin up beside it. Keep your head heavy. Can you let your back ribs anchor? Breathe in, lower your right foot down, and breathe out and lower your left foot down. We'll start on the left side this time. Breathe in, float your left knee over your left hip, not too much closer if you can. Breathe out and bring your right leg up to tabletop. Breathe in, lower your left foot. Breathe out, lower your right. Breathe in, lift your right. And breathe out, lift your left. Breathe in, lower your right. And breathe out, lower your left. One more time. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale, right. Now left foot goes down first, big breath. and right goes down and exhale. Keep your feet on the floor, tuck your chin to your throat, and then this time breathe out and curl your head and shoulders off, moving into your abdominal curl, but actively push your head back into the towel so that your neck can relax. So your chin is not jammed onto your throat, you've got a little space, you're just looking above your knees, and you're actively letting your head sit in the towel, and you're just holding the weight of your skull with the towel in your hands, and you're using your abdominals to curl your shoulders off. Now pause here and just make sure that your feet are light. So they're not pushing into the floor, your feet are very light on the floor. Take another breath. Can you make your head a little bit heavier? Now inhale, float your right knee up to tabletop, and breathe out as you bring your left leg up. Now we're going to hold in this position. Heavy your head in the towel, you can always put your head back down. Let's move into toe taps. With your knee bent, breathe out, lower your right foot down, left knee stays over your hip, inhale, right leg up. And exhale, your left leg goes down. And inhale, left leg up. And breathe out as you lower your right. How you doing? And inhale, lift. And lower your left leg, exhale, and inhale, lift. One more time each way for singles, and then we'll do a few doubles. And lift up, big breath. And left down, and inhale up. Now feet and knees together. Drop your heels a bit, and breathe out, lower both feet. Squeeze your feet, and inhale, lift. Draw those legs together, heavy head. 7 to go. Breathe out as you lower, and breathe in as you lift. Again, you can always put your head down and focus on just keeping your ribs down on the floor. That's still very challenging. 5 to go. Breathe out as you lower, breathe in as you lift. Heavy head. Breathe out as you lower, breathe in as you lift. Can you curl a little bit higher still? 4, and inhale, lift, and breathe out. 3, and lift, and 2, and 1, and lift, and head comes down and shoulders down. Arms to the side of the room. Bring your knees and your feet together so they're glued together. And then if you feel that your ribs are lifted off the floor with your arms out, bring your arms a little lower so that your back ribs can settle onto the mat. Breathe in and tip your knees and hips to the left. Your right foot will come off the floor because it's glued to the left. And then breathe out, lighten your left foot and return to center. Let's do the same side again. Knees and hips go left, tummy turns left, but your right shoulder blade stays down. Now breathe out, lighten or float your feet a centimeter, return back to center. Inhale, twist your knees into hips left again. And then use your belly to lighten your feet, return. More challenge, walk your feet a little farther from your hips. Inhale, turn. And then lighten your feet to return to center. Keep that going. It's actually harder to keep your feet on the floor, but keep them very light or just float them a millimeter. Although you're welcome to go to tabletop. It's actually easier than what we're doing now because your knees are closer to your chest. Just keep your feet light on the floor or hug them a millimeter here. 4 more. And breathe out, return to center. So we're starting to wake up our rotational muscles, our obliques, and some of our deeper spinal muscles. Return center. 2 more. Inhale, rotate, and exhale to center. And 1 more, rotate, and exhale to center. Now to the right. Inhale, knees and hips right, and use your abdominals, lighten your feet, return to center. Notice the difference between your sides. Is one side a little harder? Exhale, return center. Lighten those feet again if you want that extra challenge. Inhale, turn your knees and tummy. And then lighten and float as you return center. Inhale, rotate. Float your feet, breathe out, and cinch your waist to return to center. 5 to go. And exhale, 3, 2, and done, and return. Lift your head up and off of the towel, and then place the towel down on the floor underneath your right foot only. So just your right foot has the towel. Make sure again the towel is not on your mat, it's on your floor. Your left foot is as wide as your left hip, and it is not on the towel, it's flat down. Take a breath in to prepare for a bridge. Roll your shoulders into the mat, your chin is tucked, and then breathe out, stretch your lower back down into the mat, and push through your outer heels to roll your hips, low back, and bottom ribs off, and pause when you reach your shoulder blades. So just stay here for 3 deep breaths and see if you can make the space between your pelvis and your rib cage a little longer. So think about making your side waist longer. How's that? How could you do that for the next 2 breaths? And you curl your pubic bone a little bit higher as you find that extra length. We're going to try to keep our right hip as high as our left, on the right side of our pelvis. You can even use your hands behind your hips to find that, to give you a little bit of extra feedback on that position. Could you breathe out and just straighten your right leg, slide that towel away, and can you do that without dropping your right side of the pelvis? And then bend your right knee and breathe in. And push out and breathe out, most of the weight's in the left foot, and pull it and breathe in. We're trying to maintain that level pelvis and also keep our pubic bone higher than the rest of our trunk. So that's really requiring work more in the hips than the low back, and pull it in. Now could we circle? Press your right foot out and then circle your right leg around to the side and then pull it back in line with your hip. And breathe out, extend out and away from your head to straight, and then circle around and in and up. You can certainly do this without a towel, obviously. Inhale up. Can you keep your pelvis stable? Now we're going to reverse directions without moving your left knee. Open to the right, circle away, and pull it in, breathe in. And out and circle, and pull in. 3 more like that. Out and circle and pull in. Out and circle and pull in. Oh, losing it. And 1 more time. Exhale, out and circle. Hold your right leg straight. Take a deep breath. And exhale, roll your spine down. Let's keep our right leg straight and our left knee bent. Send your arms to the sky. You've got 5 roll-ups. Right toes face the ceiling. As you breathe out, tuck your chin towards your throat, moving into an abdominal curl. Now, if roll-ups don't work for you, just let your head relax back down and just work on the abdominal curl. Otherwise, roll all the way up to seated, and then roll back down. As you do that, bend your right knee. And then as you return to the floor, exhale and roll back up to seated. Straighten your right leg. And then breathe in as you roll down, bending your right knee. And breathe out as you roll up and straighten. You can always add more challenge by bringing your fingertips to your temples and inhale, roll down. Easier on the way down, much more challenging on the way up. You can always take your hands a little bit away from your head if you need. Exhale up. And breathe in to roll down. And you've got 1 more like that. Exhale up. And inhale down, 1 vertebra at a time. Once you arrive down, give the towel to your left foot. Your right foot's in line with your right hip. Left heel in line with left hip. Take a deep breath to prepare. Roll your shoulders down and tuck your tail. And roll slowly through your pelvic, peel into your bridge. And just pause for a moment or 2. See how long you can get in your truck, in the side waist. Can you curl your pubic bone to the sky? Can you spread your toes and place your feet anchored to the floor? All right, maintain if you can the levelness of the pelvis. This time we need to focus on keeping the left side as high as the right as we breathe out and straighten our left leg, and breathe in and bend. And breathe out and straighten, and breathe in and bend. Breathe out, push, and breathe in, bend. And 1 more push, and pull. Now breathe out and straighten and circle around to the left and pull it back in, breathe in. Keeping that left side of the pelvis. 5 circles one way, 5 the other. 3 more. How you doing? Other way for 5. Do you notice the differences in this exercise between the sides? 4. Is your left hip as high as your right? 3. 2. And 1, and return, and roll your spine slowly down. Extend your left leg to straight arms to the ceiling, take a breath, and as you breathe out, roll up to seated. So you've got your 5 roll-ups. And then breathe in to roll down, bend your left knee as you go. And breathe out as you roll up. And breathe in as you roll down. And exhale, tuck your chin and roll. And inhale, slowly roll down. And 3 to go. Hands to fingertips to temples, more challenge. And inhale down. One more time to seated. Okay, both feet on the towel for one more bridge, and we're going to start to make everything a little bit more interesting. So both feet are on the towel, and they are about sunglasses width apart. Lie down on your back, and we're going to go into double leg slides. So keeping your feet nice and close to your pelvis, take a breath to prepare, and then roll through your low back and up into your bridge. Pause. All right, so we're going to see if we can lighten the fronts of our feet. You can even lift them off. We want the weight to be in the center back of the heel, and we're going to try to keep our pelvis tucked. Arms can certainly be on the floor. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, could you slide the towel away a little bit, and then pull it back in, breathe in. Breathe out. You can have your toes down also. Breathe out, push, and breathe in, pull. 1 set of 10. And big pull. And exhale, push, and inhale, pull. Trying to keep, you can always have your hands behind your pelvis. That'll give you a little bit more support. And pull. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and pull it in, and roll your spine all the way down. All right, keep your knees up to your chest, rock all the way up to seated, and we're going to go right into an active hamstring stretch. So what I mean by that is that it's going to actually be work, and the bonus will be just a little bit of a stretch for the hamstrings. So make sure that your mat, again, is folded in half. Have the towel on the floor, and it will be at the foot end of where you are. So you'll start on your hands and your knees, and we'll need our toes to be on the towel, but our knees and hands to be on the mat. You can also be on your elbows if you prefer. Breathe out and just round your back for a moment, and then breathe into, extend and go up to the sky with your eyes, let your shoulder blades come together. Do that one more time each way. Just round your back, kind of finding our neutral by finding extremes. And then look up to the sky and breathe in. And find somewhere in the middle your neutral spine. So your chin is tucked, you've got lots of space between your shoulder blades. Tuck your toes on the towel. And first just see if you can hold the towel still as you hover your knees off the floor and then lower your knees down. And breathe out, hover. And breathe in, lower. 3 more like that. Can you do the hover without rounding your back? So can you keep your tail reaching back as you hover your knees? Inhale down. 2 more times. It's a hover, breathe out. And a lower, breathe in. This time we're going to hover and straighten your knees 1 time. And bend your knees 1 time. And lower your knees down. So inhale, hover your knees. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lower your knees. 3 more. Inhale, hover. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lower. You can always, again, go to the elbows. And you can also just do the hover and lower. You don't have to do the straighten. And down. This time, we're going to come down to our elbows. We'll straighten our legs, and we'll go into pikes. Just 8 of them. Take a breath in to prepare, and breathe out to straighten your knees. Now breathe in, can you pull your feet towards your hips, and breathe out and lower. And then inhale, lift your belly, pull from your abs to draw those toes in, exhale back to your plank. 6 more, inhale, pull your toes in, and exhale back. You could also, if that towel's not working, just bring 1 foot in at a time, and then back, and then the other foot in, and back. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1, and done, and bend your knees, and return all the way down. Fabulous job. Okay, come to face forward in mermaid position. And once you're in that mermaid position, let's take our legs around to the right side. So we're all going the same direction. So both legs around to the right. And we'll just pause. Try to have your feet both and knees both on the mat with your right foot hidden behind your left. Just roll your right hip a little forward, a little back. A few of those. Just come getting that right hip socket a little warmed up if it's not already. And then see if you can just allow that right hip to settle down toward the mat without force. Let your shoulders come down. Take a breath, lift your chest. And we're going to lean to the left. Just engage that core. See if you can do that without coming forward. And could you float your right leg off? And then return your right leg and come back upward. Let's do that again. Lean and breathe out as you float your right leg. And then return up and breathe in. Exactly. So breathe out as you go left and float that right leg. And breathe in to return. This time we're going to stay out a little longer. And can you lift and lower your right leg 10 times? Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Try to have your head back behind your chest and your chest lifting up and away from your pelvis. Spine is long. Exhale up, inhale down. 5 more of those. We're getting a little deeper into that right hip. The lateral hip complex. 4. Exhale 3. Exhale 2. And 1. And done. And all the way up. All right, wiggle around just a second. Now we'll do our clams. So this time you're going to have your hands on the floor, rotate. So we're rotating to the left. Your chest is lifted. You just got a little bit of weight in the fingertips, not really even on the hands here. And lean into your right hand. Keep your right foot on the mat and just lift and lower your right knee. So moving into that clam. Now the challenge is to stay with your weight on your right fingertips, with your left hand off the floor even if you can. And you're trying to turn your chest toward the left. Exhale up, inhale down. 10 to go. It should be a small movement. If you're getting a lot of movement, you might just need to make that left hand lighter. 8, 7, good work. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We've got 2 more parts. First, a little bit of balance. You're going to stay in the middle. Bring both feet forward. That extra padding should feel good. And then see if you can have your feet together, your knees slightly apart. Float your feet off the floor. Lift your chest. If you want a bit more challenge, you can hang on down by your shins. Now we're going to see if we can lift our chest up a bit and maybe move our legs a little straighter. And then bend our knees and return. So straight from the side. You guys stay facing front. So breathe out, lift your chest, extend your knees just as far as you can, and inhale, bend. And extend and breathe out, and return and breathe in. Just holding that balance point behind your tail, but with your chest still lifted. Now you can stay with this, or for more challenge, hands off, and they lift to the sky as your knees extend, and then you bend. 5 more like that. 4, good work. 3, 2, and done, and return all the way down. Fabulous job. A little bit more to go on this side. So we're going to take the towel underneath our right foot, and then straighten our right leg down so it's still on the wood floor, or the floor on top of the towel, not on the mat. And then your left elbow will be down on that padded mat, just a little outside the line of your shoulder. To start, your right knee will be underneath your right hip, and you'll come into a side plank on the floor. You can always go to a straight leg, but let's just start here. Draw your head back in space. Send your left arm down, your right arm down your right thigh. And then can you slide your left foot forward, breathe in, and then take your left foot back and breathe out. And inhale, your foot comes forward, and exhale, it goes back. Now you can stay with that or start to move your top arm in opposition to that leg. So top arm goes back as your top leg goes forward. Top arm goes forward as your leg goes back. You can stay with that or straighten your right leg down the mat and then continue. It's up to kind of navigate around that bottom leg. 4 more times each way. 3, 2, and 1, and return. Come all the way back down and make your way back up to mermaid with your legs in the same direction. So still again around to the right. Grab your towel and put it underneath your right hand for a little stretch. So that your legs are onto the right, the towel's underneath your right fingertips. Doesn't have to be, it's just an option. And then you'll slide the towel around to the right. Your left arm comes overhead. And then just pull the towel back towards your mat. Inhale. And breathe out. Slide the towel. Big stretch for that left waist. And inhale up. One more like that. And then return. And exhale, 3. And up. And one more. And up. Leg come around to the other way. We do the whole combination again. So your left foot's back, your right shin is forward, and then the towel is down on the floor. Okay, so to begin, shoulders are down, hands on the pelvis, and want our left foot kind of hidden behind our left knee, and our right shin is parallel to the mat in front of us, and we just roll that left hip a little forward, a little back. Just a couple more of those. Just notice how much movement this side of the pelvis has. How much movement does this thigh bone have in the hip socket compared to the other side? Okay, and then just see if you can just let it settle down into the mat and then lift up and out of your pelvis, seeing how long your side waist can get. Head comes back, arms across your chest. So maintain the length of the spine, your ribs away from your pelvis, and lean to the right as you breathe out. Float your left knee, and then return and breathe in. Exhale, lean. And inhale, upright. 5 more like that, and then we stay. Exhale, lean. And inhale, upright. As your chin stood back behind your chest. And up. Nice. 2 more times, and we stay on the second. And lift. So now let's stay to the right. And can you keep your chin back, keep that length in your spine, brace your core, breathe out as you lift your left leg, breathe in as you lower. 9. Yes, exactly. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then relax and come all the way upright. Now rotate your spine to the right, fingertips to the floor, lean heavily into your left fingertips. If you can't even lift the right hand off, you don't have to. And then could you maybe lift and lower your left knee, but keep your left foot on the floor. So as you do that, you're trying to rotate your chest. If you've got a big ruby pendant in it, rotate it to the left. And exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. If your right hand comes off also, 10 to go, so 15 total. 9, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and done. Perfect. All the way upright. This time we're going to use our towel for that little balance point in center. So you're going to take the towel now around the bottoms of your toes and arches. Again, scoot forward a little bit on the mat just in case you do roll back a bit. And let's just start by finding our balance point. Push your feet into the towel. That'll help your hip flexors to relax a little bit. Let your shoulders come down, your chin is tucked. Could we maybe straighten our knees and bend? And they don't have to go all the way straight, just as straight as your legs go. You're just challenging your balance. Remember what I always say, just a party trick. And inhale, bend. And exhale, extend. 10 to go. You want more challenge? Take the towel away from your feet. So don't let your feet push into the towel. Try to keep the towel loose. And last 4. And bend. 3. And done. And return. Side plank now. Towel comes onto the floor. And you will have your right foot on the towel, extended, your right elbow's on the floor, And then, so your left foot's on the towel, your right elbow's on the floor, and then you'll be on your right knee, lift it up into a little side plank. Try to have your elbow and knee in the same line, so your hips can come forward, and you've got a long line through the trunk. And then your left arm slides down, your thigh head back. Breathe in and slide that left foot forward on the floor, and then back. Start with 3 more like this. Let your head go. You can always look down toward the floor to help your neck get a bit more comfortable. Now, top arm is going to reach back as you breathe in. Top leg goes forward, and top leg back, top arm forward. Inhale, and exhale. So you can stick with that or add that extra challenge by straightening your bottom leg, and then just work around it by coming onto your toes on the towel. 6 more of each. 5, 4, 2, and 1, and return your hips all the way down. Fabulous job. Come all the way up to that mermaid. Tuck your legs once again around to the left. Place your left hand on the towel. Lift your right arm up and side bend slowly. And slowly up and breathe in. Go. And again we side bend. And then we return. And up. You got it. 3 more just like that. Breathe out as you side bend. And breathe in to return. And exhale. And then 1 more time just like that. So we're going to make our way to standing, and I might just have to adjust the camera for this part. But first, just make sure that we'll keep our mat folded just as it is. And then once you come to standing, you'll have 1 foot on the mat and the other foot on the towel. So I'm going to get cut off here. I'll move that in a moment. But we're going to begin, just to get you started, with your left foot on the mat and your right toes on the towel. And we want both feet to be facing forward so that one of your feet isn't facing toward the camera, it's facing or toward me. You've got both feet facing the same direction. So we're going to start by trying to stay upright, and you'll slide your towel leg back, and then pull your towel leg forward. Keep going. I'm just going to move the camera. So sliding back, and then pulling it in. Oops, and sliding back and pulling back. We've got 15. So you're upright and you're sliding and up. We have about 7 or 8 of those to go. You can always do this also without the towel. Let's just see if you can stay upright. Okay, so 4 more, and we're going to make this a bit more of a core-focused exercise. It's going to be a burpee, a Pilates burpee. Don't panic, you'll be fine. 1 more time. All right, so now you're going to breathe in and find your lunge, but this time lean forward and take your hands down to the mat. Now you could just stay there, or for more challenge, breathe out and send your left leg back. Hover it in space. Pull your left foot forward as you breathe in, and then stand up and pull the right foot back towards you, breathe out. We're just doing 5. Inhale, lunge and place your hands down flat on the floor. Breathe out, take your left foot back. Pull your left foot into home, up and over that mat. Now lift your hands off first, and then stand up. That just helps to prevent us from using our back. We like to really use our butt. Inhale, lunge, hands come down. Exhale, stay there or send your left foot back. Inhale, left foot forward, and exhale, stand. 2 more. And up. How are we doing? Inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Let's switch sides. So right foot is on the mat, left toes on the towel, and then just adjust that so that your left foot faces the same direction as your right. Your left heel is off the floor. Try to stay upright. head back over tail. As you lunge, inhale, and pull it in, exhale. So our weight is on our outer right heel, our right knee is pushing to the right, but we're also grounding our big toe. We're kind of curling our big toe into the mat. That's 4. And lift your arms up if you'd like. And lunge back. 5. And the right knee can travel forward just a little bit. We really want the weight to stay really more in the heel though. 8 to go. Before we've got those 5 burpees. Doing great. 7. 4. You got it. 2. And 1. Now inhale down to your hands to the mat. Exhale, stay there or send your right foot back into plank, hover it. Inhale, pull your right foot forward, and then exhale, stand. That's a little harder. Inhale, lunge, plank, hands down. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, right foot forward, and exhale, up to stand. 3 to go. And up, 2. And 1 more. And up. Fabulous. All right, good work on that. Let's take our mat out to its full length and make our way down to our tummy to do some extension. So for this one, we want one end of the towel to be, one end of the mat, have the towel. And then your head and the rest of your body will be on the mat. So mat to the full length and towel down. So just make your way down to your tummy. And again, your head will be on, it can be slightly off, that's fine. But we want the towel with your arms as they're straight to be in front of you and extended. And your head's just relaxed down on the mat. Your legs are wide, your pinky toes are anchored, and then just anchor your pubic bone down. Now breathe in and allow your shoulder blades to lift so that the towel will slide forward. And then slide your shoulders down without lifting your chest. And inhale, shrug your shoulders towards your head. And breathe out, pull your shoulders away from your head. And inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Now keep your shoulders down, push through your pinky toes and pubic bone, and see if you can just float your chest off the floor by pushing through the outer edges of your hands. Breathe out and lengthen your spine to return down. Can you get a little taller and longer as you return to your mat? Breathe in, pubic bone anchors, moving into your swan. And then breathe out and lower all the way down. And breathe in to float and lift. And breathe out to lengthen and lower. One more like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. So now take the towel toward the right. I want you to try to push into your left foot. Maybe take your left hip a little wider. So your arms and your head are toward the right. And then can you pull both shoulders down and do a little extension off to that right side and return down. So it's a little weird, I know, but that's sort of the hallmark of Pilates, right? Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So that right elbow might bend a bit more than your left. And just 2 more. So it's a bit of a side bend with extension. And 1 more. Now we've got a second part to that. We're going to bring our towel into our right hand only. And then slide that hand with the towel down towards your right hip, but still off the mat on the floor. You can, of course, do this without the towel. Just hover your hands or slide it along the floor. Left hand underneath your forehead. Now as you breathe out, anchor your pubic bone and then float your head and chest off the floor. Look down. Keep looking down as you side bend to the right. Slide the towel down to your right outer foot. Your left elbow reaches forward, but both sides of the chest are the same height. And exhale, back to center. And inhale, side bend right, left hip anchors. And exhale, return. We'll do 10 of these. Side bend right, left hip anchors, feet anchor, and back and arc. Just make sure you're still looking down. The back of your neck is long. 5 to go. It's not high, it's a low hover. We're thinking more about length and also that symmetry of lift from the mat so that the right side of the chest is just as high as the left. 2 more times. And 1 more time. And then return to center. Send the towel up and over your head. Take both hands onto the towel and then slide the towel to the left and relax down. So your right will be a little bit longer than the left will be slightly bent, both hips anchor, and breathe in to move into swan, but on that diagonal. And then exhale up. Just notice, does this side feel the same? Does it have a bit more ease than your other side? Inhale, lift. So your hands are just going on that diagonal. So if you were on a clock, you'd be moving sort of toward 10 o'clock, toward the center of the clock, and then back toward 10. 2 more just like that. Now, give the towel to your left hand, slide that down to your left hip, take your right hand underneath your forehead, and then place your forehead, glue it to your hand with your chin tucked. So just take a moment to just actively tuck your chin so the back of your neck is uncreased. Anchor your pubic bone, your feet, and float your head and chest. Now, as you breathe in, side bend to your left, keep your right hip and foot anchored, and exhale back to center. And inhale, side bend. We've got 10 of these. Now, checking with the height of your chest. Can you get the left side to be as high as the right? You might need to lower the right side a bit. 7 to go. Breathe in as you side bend. Breathe out as you return. Four. 2. And 1. And return. And then just return that towel down in front of you with both hands underneath your head, head down, bend your knees, and just tick-tock your legs nice and easy, side to side. Just easy, easy, side to side movement. Take a few deep breaths into your back. And then just roll over onto your back. You can keep your head at the same end that it is at now. So the towel is just going to be above your head. We don't need it right now, though. And then just push into your feet and breathe out as you stretch your lower back into the mat. Now, we're not quite done yet. We've got a little bit coming. So just take a few moments here to gently imprint your spine into the mat and stretch your lower back. And then breathe in and return your pelvis to neutral. So just that small tilt that draws the top of the pelvis toward the bottom of the front ribs. And then on your inhale, those 2 points move away from each other. And then with your hands just gently on the floor beside you, your chin tucked, there's nothing underneath your head. I'm going to take our knees up to a tabletop position. And then just see if we can allow our rib cage to push down heavy into the floor. And as you breathe out, could you just draw your knees a little bit closer and then return? And can you do that with your chin tucked? So you're just allowing that lower back to get a deeper stretch. Again, this is one of those sort of, this is a euphemism really. It's a lower back stretch, but of course it's really an abdominal exercise. Little lift of the pelvis, little lower. Keeping your chin tucked as you go, and if you can, those shoulders relax through the floor. 4 more like this. Now both feet toward the sky, and let's lower our feet just a bit as we breathe out to move into a rollover. Inhale, feet toward the ceiling, and breathe out. Can you use your arms and belly to roll back? Remember to keep your feet as high as your pelvis. Don't drop it down. We stop at the shoulder blades. After a deep breath into your rib cage, slowly start to roll down on your exhale. Your chin is drawn down, the crown of your head is stretching away, your arms are anchored to the floor, and you breathe out and continue breathing out until your legs lower to the lowest point you can keep your back ribs on the floor. Breathe in, float your feet to the sky. Breathe out to use your abdominals to roll back just to the base of the shoulder blades. Breathe in to the back ribs. Breathe out to slowly roll down. Chin towards your chest. So we're getting that same sense of length in the neck that we found in our warm-up. We did that bit of traction. If that's not working, just return to those little lift and lowers of the hips off the floor. We've got 4 more. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, pause. Breathe out, lengthen your crown of your head away from your pelvis as you roll down. And return. 3 to go. Big breath into your back. And a long, slow exhale. Rest when you need. 2 more. And 1 more. And a deep breath. And a slow lower all the way down. Now place your feet on the floor as wide apart as the mat, and then take your arms into a cactus position. So that's about a 90-degree bend. If your shoulders allow your fingernails to find the floor. Let both knees turn to the left as you look to the right and push your right elbow and hand down. You can even slide that right arm up along the floor behind you, but keep your elbow and fingertips down. And then return your knees to center and your elbow back in line with your shoulders. And turn both knees right and slide your left hand and elbow along the floor. See if you can keep your left fingernails, left elbow down, and return. Let's go again. So knees both go left, slide your fingers and right elbow along the floor over your head to kind of make half a diamond shape, and return. And to the right, arms up and overhead, that left arm up and overhead. Big breath. And then return. So now cross your right ankle. Bring first your left ankle in line with your left hip, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Turn your right knee out. And we'll do the same thing here. Allow your legs and your pelvis to rotate to the left. Your right foot might find the floor. And we're going to keep our legs there. And first just wiggle your right knee just toward and away from your left elbow. And do that just of your hip's own volition, so you're not actually pulling that leg. Now you can stay with your knee moving, or you can just actively push your knee away, again using your hip strength, and then just slide that right elbow up and down the floor, and hand also, but keep your back ribs reaching down to the floor. So you're just getting a little chest stretch. As you take your arm overhead, breathe out and try to push those ribs down. And then return to center and uncross and right foot down, and then left ankle over your right. And then slowly roll your legs to the right. And just begin by wiggling your right knee toward and away from your left knee, toward and away from your right elbow. Then actively push your left knee away. Let's slide that left elbow again, just up and down the floor to open your chest wall. Push your back ribs down as you do that, and breathe out as your arm glides overhead. And then return to center, and that towel should be right behind you. We're going to finish as we started. So elongate the towel to its full length, not with the ab curls, but with the neck relaxation. So just unfold the towel to its full length and place your head on it, just making sure that your shoulders are not on it, so your neck and head are on. Gather at the ends of the band with your the towel with your hands. And then turn your elbows to face the sky and drop your chin toward your throat. So keep your chin down, and you can have your knees straight or bent, whatever feels good. You can also bring your feet together, your knees apart, like in Baddha Konasana. So whatever feels good. Our goal here is to keep our head heavy. And then could you just, with your chin tucked and your head heavy, float your head off the floor, use your hands, and then just sort of coax the towel back, and then just turn your head a little side to side. Now the challenge here is to really keep your head very heavy in that sling. And you can also sort of rock a little side to side. This feels so much better if you can get someone else to do it. So if you just kind of show them what to do and then get their hands to take it and they just gently traction you, it feels pretty amazing. So just again, a bit of gentle traction. And then just let your head come down and then release and let your arms relax. And with your chin tucked, just let your head free up as it rolls slowly once again, side to side. Let your breath return to your belly. We don't want to squeeze our belly all day. We want that to be relaxed. So much better for our breathing, for managing and balancing our nervous system and our stress response. And it's also much better for our organs to, especially for women, for our reproductive organs to not be squeezed and compressed all day. You spend as long as you want just lying on your back, taking some deep breaths, just noticing how your body feels now. If you're watching this today on Tuesday, the day that I release it, I'll be teaching a class on Thursday morning online, here on Sound Online, and also Saturday at the regular scheduled class, just as we do in person, Saturday at 8:30 a.m. So if you have any requests for that, just pop them into the chat there on Sound Online. Haven't decided if we'll use props or not, so maybe we'll add in, maybe I know many of you have a band at home, so we might use a TheraBand or a resistance band, or maybe even a light hand weight, which can also be substituted with a can of chickpeas or soup. Have a fantastic day. Stay well, breathe deeply, and stand tall. Thanks again.